Namaste. Wish you all a very happy Mahashivaratri. And may Lord Shiva bless you with a spiritual journey. One of the most important aspect of Namaste.
Sorry.
The idea of Shiva is one of Vairagya. That's why it's supposed to be on the Himalayas, covered with only one deer skin and matted hair. That means to say what is the requirement, minimum of requirements, and that's what is peaceful, quiet. Shivam is also Mangalam, and that is what he represents. As I said, that he represents that detachment or the Vairagya. Vairagya is wrongly translated detachment. The idea of Vairagya is Vitaraga iti Vairagya. Raga not following you. That means earlier it used to follow, but now it doesn't follow you. It's not that you are giving up. It is that Raga does not follow you. The attachment does not follow you. The reason why that attachment does not follow you is that you have outgrown. You have outgrown whatever it is supposed to be, the attraction earlier. That's it is called as Vitaragaha, Vairagya. And Shiva represents that. That's why we have this beautiful mantra, Triambakam Yajamahe, Sigandham Pushtivardhanam, Urvarukam Iva Bandhana Nrityor Mukshiyam Amrutat. You hear this mantra, Mrityunjaya mantra. Mrityunjaya is not that we are trying to fight with death and then we conquer the death. There is nothing like fighting with the death at all. The whole idea is that I transcend myself from what is supposed to be dying quality. I transcend beyond that. Then the death does not touch me. Because in this creation, there are certain things which are touched by the death. And whatever that is born is touched by the rest. But behind all that, whatever that is born, there is something which does not undergo death, which is eternal. And that eternal principle is what is the consciousness that we are, or what is that we talk about God. The purpose of the idea of that is that it is not something which is touched by the senses. Even your mind, your intellect, all those things are within the boundaries of birth and death. That's why Shiva is something where beyond all these things, and that's why it is called as Mangala. That means there is nothing that can really disturb that or contaminate that. Like the way that even the sky itself is something you cannot contaminate. Any gas that goes into the sky, any dirt that goes into the sky, it gets scattered. Finally, the sky remains pure. The same way, if the sky itself can remain purity, then what about the consciousness? And that we are. We are that consciousness which is basically pure. Impurities are all there from outside. So therefore, we say that Mrityor Mukshiyam Amrutat, freedom from the Mrityu, and so that we go to the Amritatva. This Amritatva is that where the death cannot occur. So how do we reach that state? That's why you say Sugandhim Pushtivarthanam Urvarukam Iva. It is, he gives a very beautiful analogy of a fruit. When the fruit is raw, it is holding onto the tree. It is very firmly holding onto the tree. You try to take away that fruit from the tree. It disturbs the whole tree, whole branch, and the fruit also gets disturbed. It might happen all that way. Whereas the moment that the fruit ripens, the raw fruit becomes ripened. Once it is ripe, then it is still touching the plant like the way that the raw fruit is touching. But all that it requires is just a touch. Immediately it falls down. Waiting to fall down for the simple reason that the tree is not depending on the fruit anymore. The fruit is not depending on the tree anymore. It has become independent. This independent freedom is the one that really gives us that idea of Vairagya. Now, how do we recognize that independent freedom? It is in the form of Like analogy of a fruit, when it is raw, it does not have the taste, it does not have the beautiful color, and it also does not have that aroma, softness. But the moment that the fruit becomes ripe, you see that the same fruit which was there hanging green in the beginning, suddenly it changes its color. It becomes beautiful yellow and red kind of colors, which are so attractive, which are so beautiful. And not only that, it becomes colorful, but another thing is that it has such a beautiful fragrance, spreads everywhere. And that fragrance invites insects, invites everything, butterflies, and all that for that particular fruit. Squirrels, they come and eat on the fruit. So that means to say, they all are invited by this fruit when it ripens. Not only that, and third important thing, this fruit is very sweet. So all these three things that has happened, one is that it has become beautiful, and second, nice color. Second, it has the aroma, and third is taste. And fourth, most important thing is it is nutritious. It is a value to see, add to your life, you add to your health. So therefore, that all these four qualities, urvarukamiva bandhana mrityor mukshiya mamrita, in that way that the flower, that the fruits becomes ripe, then all that what it needs is one small little touch. It is freed from the plant, freed from the tree. Not only it is freed from the tree, but there is another thing is that kind of a fruit is now ready to give rise to many more plants, and it can really procreate in many different ways, and the propagation takes place. This continuation propagation is what is called as the yagna. Yagna is that activity which is created in such a way it is going on its own for eternity. And that yagna is what is indicated by that mantra, Triyambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam urvarukam iva bandhanan mrityor mukshiyamamritat. Why he calls it as three eyes? Symbolically, when we have two eyes, the two eyes are the eyes representing right and wrong, good and bad, a value system of this is okay, this is not okay, that kind of thing. Third eye is that position where you are not judging, you are not discriminating, you are just picking up what is necessary. Paramahamsa also, people